Hello one and all, and welcome to Behind the Glass, your weekly automotive podcast hosted by two rather uninformed enthusiasts.
No.
I'm Sam from the YouTube channel Seen Through Glass.
I'm Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales.
And you can watch us each week. We hope you enjoy the episode. I am a man of my word. We said 2 weeks ago or last week?
2 weeks ago.
Maybe. I think we recorded it 2 weeks ago but released it last week.
Oh, did we?
Maybe. I get confused.
No, we don't know.
I said that today we would finally reveal the details of our second BTG Tour trial event.
Yeah.
And we're doing it.
Right now.
Right now. So,
Get ready.
yes, whatever you're doing, turn up the volume. Stop any distractions. Because you're going to want to hear this information.
Pick up your pen and a bit of paper and get writing.
It's not 1982. You can just, type in the email address or whatever. Anyway, so let's share all. So, yes, just in case you're new to this podcast or you haven't been listening recently and you don't know what we're going on about, earlier this year we announced that we were going to be doing these 2 trial driving tour events, right? Based on the fact that we've spent our lives here on the podcast, but me on the main channel and you personally driving around Europe and this country and many other countries. We wanted to bring some of you along with us. And we did I think a very successful first event in Portugal at the start of the year.
Yeah. I mean, I guess certainly said so, which is good enough for us.
Yeah, I think we can toot our own trumpet.
Yeah.
We absolutely loved it and it went very well. We thought, this is encouraging. Let's go ahead with the second event. And we said that, for the second trial, we want to try to bring more of you along, make it a bit of a bigger group, because I think that's what we're trying to work out is what do we want these events to be?
Yeah.
How do we want them to look? What's important? Is it the size of the group? Is it the style of the event? Like, is it pure driving? Is it visiting places? So that's the whole point of what we're doing this year, is that next year we can unleash hellfire and fury onto the driving tour world and announce 15 events. But so this second event, which is going to be happening the end of September, was your first little bit of information, is just that. It's a slightly bigger group. So it's going to be for 30 cars.
Yep.
30 cars. And our pricing our tour is based on maximum of 2 people in their cars.
Yep.
You can, of course, come by yourself. Lots of people did come by themselves.
Absolutely, yeah.
The first one, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
And it is open to anyone in the world. But important to say that you have to be able to get a car to our meeting point. Have a car. To our meeting point in the UK or Northern France for the start of the tour.
Yeah.
So you can't just turn up and jump in somebody else's car. Well, maybe you can. Maybe that's what we should start, like a little community thing of like anyone willing to give lifts and you can share costs. So you could put in the comment section below if you want to do the tour and you're prepared to have a stranger in the car with you to share costs. Put below the make and model.
Yeah.
And
that'd be fun.
That'd be so cool.
You spend a week with someone you don't know.
It's like road trip dating. Do you know what I mean? Like Tinder for driving tours.
Yeah.
You're going to make great car friends for life. Anyway.
2 Fit Bird Shop, I'm going with him. I'm so sorry about my girlfriend if she sees this, but I'm going.
Have you got a third seat?
Yeah.
Or
4 seats.
My car's broken down. I will be joining you. Right, so should we start with dates? Is that the first thing to understand?
I think so, yeah, before we get in more trouble.
Yeah. I'm cutting all of that out. The dates you need to know. Tuesday, the 24th of September to Saturday, the 28th of September.
24th or 23rd?
24th.
24th.
Tuesday, the 24th of September. Don't confuse things, Tony.
No.
Tuesday, the 24th
Trying
of
to get my
September
head around it.
to Saturday, the 28th of September.
Right.
Where are we going? Well, as I mentioned, we will be kickstarting for UK drivers in the UK. Final destination to be disclosed for those who are actually joining us. And for European guests, you'll be joining us in northern France once we've crossed over or under the channel into mainland Europe. Ish. Yeah. We will then proceed that day in towards Belgium, and we're going to do what I think is going to become a tradition on Behind the Glass tours, a little trademark thing. Bit go-karting.
And so it should, because it's a real good icebreaker.
We learned this in Portugal.
Yeah.
it's firstly a great way for Tony to try and kill all of our guests.
Yeah.
And have them turn against him immediately. But it is just a good way just to kickstart things, the festivities.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a bit jolly.
Yeah.
There's a bit of racing goes on, a bit crashing. And we've got an amazing track.
Amazing.
I mean,
it's
we've
proper.
outdone ourselves. Because
I think we've done well.
Portugal was pretty spectacular.
It was,
I was like,
yeah.
for go-karting locations, we're not exactly in like a hangar on the A3. This was, so that's going to be great.
This is better.
This is better.
Yeah.
Got a great hotel that evening where we can then, mingle post karting, share our stories, share our anecdotes. The following day, we will continue to the Nurburgring.
Yep, my new favourite place.
Literally your new favourite place.
You know what they call me now over there, Mr. Germany?
No, they don't.
They do, mate.
Mr. Germany.
I'm there all the time. All my mates saying Mr. Germany now.
Your British mates call you Mr. Germany.
Yeah.
But they should call you Mr. Ring.
That's a bit rude.
It does sound a bit rude, doesn't it? Anyway, there will be a few special little secret stops on the way.
Yep.
But we're heading to the ring. And actually, as we go on, if you think we're being a bit vague, that is on purpose.
Yeah.
So, we like to keep some things up our sleeves, don't we?
Absolutely.
Don't want to reveal everything. You've got to have some stuff to be excited about, to be intrigued about. Of course, those of you that end up on the tour with us will find out more information the closer we get to it and once you actually join the tour. But we just do. We like to have a little surprise, a few surprises. But we were making our way to the Nürburgring and we'll be there in time for one of the Touristerfahrten sessions, the open...
Yeah.
So you can go out. If you're brave enough, you can go out.
Or stupid like me.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
We can all just sit and watch Tony
go in the
his
wall.
car. Yeah. And there's always cool cars knocking around. There's also sometimes cool people. So again, a few little things up our sleeves.
Yeah.
By the way, if some of this is sounding familiar, that's because... Should we reveal? Or should we get through that and then should we reveal?
I think we'd do it at the end.
Okay. Keep going.
Keep going.
Post Nürburgring, the German chaos continues as we head south.
Mm-hmm.
Next stop, the Porsche Museum.
Been there, haven't we?
Oh, yes, we have.
Yes.
That's another little, what's called Easter egg for you in terms of how this trip all came about. So, off to the Porsche Museum. If you're not into Porsches, don't worry, because this is a good automotive destination, even if you're not really into Porsches. Wouldn't you agree?
I'd agree. And if you're not into Porsches, you will be by the end of the trip.
Yeah. It's a great place to drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
It's an amazing space, and they're trying to hook us up, look after us, do a few little special bits. But I say, even if we just go in as punters, which I don't think we will, it's awesome place to stop off and check out some cars, probably grab a bite to eat. So that's going to be amazing. The journey then will continue through via the Autobahn, some de-restricted sections of the Autobahn. If you've never done that before,
pretty cool.
It's pretty wild, especially when a diesel A6 comes past you when you think you're going flat, and then it's diesel A6.
Some German bloke flashing you to get out of the way.
Terrifying. I would suggest you have a passenger for that section just so you have somebody looking out for what's going on. So that would be super cool. And we're basically heading towards the mountains because the sort of destination for our trip is Austria, and we will wind our way towards what I think is one of the greatest mountain roads in Europe. Well, at least one of my favourite mountain roads in Europe.
I'd agree, yeah. One of them.
The Großglockner Strasse. I think now is when we can reveal all, because this surely will be sounding quite familiar to some of you. Essentially, when Tony and I first started to think about doing these driving tours, we went and recce'd a potential route. So
literally done this route.
So our trip last year in our 2 GT3s was this trip. We then bolted on and went down to the Red Bull Ring, which we're not going to do on this actual journey. But yeah, we did this trip. So you would have seen us go to the Porsche Museum. You would have sort of passed through Belgium and Luxembourg and parts of Germany, head down south into Austria and to the Großglockner Strasse, where we made that special video in our 2 cars.
Yep.
It's an amazing road. So much fun to drive. Even with the amount of cars that we've got, it's a chance to really start doing some fun driving, because that's been the hardest thing, I think. That's the hardest thing in the planning of this. The more cars you add, the less back road, fast-paced driving you can do, because this is too many cars.
It's just way too many cars, yeah.
Too much attention. You get split up too easily. It's just hard to have any kind of pace. There's different people in the convoy want to go at different paces. We found that even in Portugal with 10 cars.
Yeah.
So that will be our chance to sort of, have a bit of fun and stagger ourselves and spend a bit of time up in those mountains. And then some amazing places to stop for a bit of coffee and strudel at the end where we can do some.
Strudel.
Oh, mate, we've been missing the strudel, haven't we?
Oh, love a strudel.
We pretty much only arranged this so we can go and have some strudel.
And some schnitzel.
So it's definitely, we're going to call it a road trip rather than a driving tour. I think that's the point of difference. So it's very much destination based. It's a chance to hang out all together, go and do some cool stuff, visit some cool places, drive your cars in different countries. So it'll probably be 3 or 4, maybe even 5 different countries that you'll be passing through. As I see some really special stuff. We'll be doing a live podcast event in Austria, so there'll be a chance to get involved with that. As I say, a few little secrets that we're going to keep up our sleeves. So, look, if this is something that sounds interesting to you, you've got to head to btgtours.com. That is the website, btgtours.com. You'll find all this information written out, and at the bottom, details of how to sign up. Once again, we are doing first come, first serve.
Absolutely, yeah.
First come, first serve. All the pricing is there, all the details of what's included. And then simply all you have to do is put in your information and you'll get details back of how to pay your deposit. And once we've received our 30 deposits, done. We're sorted. We'll have a waiting list just in case.
We did last time, didn't we? So
because we had a really sadly a couple who had a family emergency couldn't make it, so had to rely on the waiting list. So, all the information there, btgtours.com. So, I guess you're going to have to act quick because Portugal sold out in less than a week.
It was like 3 days, mate. Yeah.
So, I would get cracking.
Me too.
Sort yourself out.
Sort yourself out, sort a car out if you ain't got one.
Sort a car out. We are super excited because it's completely different. It's completely different. And maybe we'll end up doing a variation like this.
Yeah.
Maybe each year there'll be some road trips, some driving tours.
Yeah.
Some
mix it up a bit.
Family tours. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's the whole point of the trials. So we would love to see you all there. Sadly, it's only 30 spaces. We know there are more of you than that listening, but BTG Tours, not doors. That's another business we're looking at. Shout out Nathan Steel Doors there. Our sponsors from Australia. Anyway, BTG Tour. Oh my God, I can't speak. BTGtours.com. Should we draw a line on it? That's been like about 10 minutes of chat about tours.
Yeah.
That's enough. Because I've just been on my own tour, mate.
I know.
And we've got a lot to discuss.
Yeah, but I'm surprised you got back.
Well, of course you'd say that.
Surprised you got there.
Yeah, well, so am I a little bit. In case you missed it, I took my challenge to down to the south of France, down to Monaco, via Luxembourg, actually. Went to see the legends at Deal and Drive.
Yeah.
Shout out to Julian and the team.
Yeah.
They looked after me. But then, continued on south and spent, I was there for about 10 days, something like that, and got back at the weekend. My car was perfect, so... There are a few little creaks and niggles that I will be addressed, but nothing like, just stuff that I'm noticing.
Yep.
Nothing like, there's a bit of wind noise from the right. I'm like, that doesn't quite add up. And then at 80 miles an hour, which I think is the French speed limit, or whatever the French speed limit is.
130 kilometres.
Yeah, so what is that? It's like 78.
79. Yeah.
There's a little, I can hear a vibrate, like something's flapping. So something needs to be screwed up, but it's only at 80. The minute I come under 80, it stops again.
Right.
So it must be an aero. I know, something's going on. But otherwise, the car was spectacular, fantastic, loved it. But I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
I want to talk about all the other cars I drove. Because, mate, I drove a few.
Right.
So let's kickstart. Embargo has been lifted. My video is to come. McLaren Artura Spider.
McLaren. Oh.
Now, you know and remember... I really enjoyed the Artura Coupe.
You did, yeah. I remember you ringing me up. I think you said you wanted to buy one.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah.
Sending you loads of voice notes, just being like, this thing's mega.
Yeah.
What a bit of kit. So.
Uh-oh.
I was excited. I was like, here we go. It's going to be great. Spider version. Because McLaren's Spiders are usually better than the coupes.
Well, yeah, because they're just as rigid and you got the roof off.
Yeah, because of the carbon tub.
Yeah.
And metallic. You just best of both worlds.
Yeah,
You're just winning. And traditionally, they sell better, the Spiders, anyway. So I was like, this is going to be fantastic. I'm in the south of France. Roads I know really well. It's dry. It's hot. Here we go. For the first time in my life, I got car sick.
In that car?
In that car.
Oh,
and
why?
It totally ruined my experience. I actually don't know. So... What's quite interesting, let's dive into this now.
Car sick and you were driving?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They have. So this is not just an Artura Spider. This is a new Artura. So think of this as an Artura S or a 992.2 Artura. So there's a whole load of changes which they've made supposedly for the Spider, which are also now for the coupe. So if you went and ordered a coupe today, you get a different or an updated version from the old car.
Right. So is it a little bit like what they've done with the MP12.4C and then they bring the 650 out?
Not that extreme.
Not that drastic?
Not that drastic.
Right, okay.
And if you've already bought an Artura...
Sorry.
No. Not sorry. But
No?
I was laughing as in like the 4 people that have actually had cars delivered.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, no one has.
No.
You can take your car to the dealer. Some dealers. Well, no, not some dealers. It's time dependent. You can take the car to the dealer and you can get the upgrade in power and a few other ECU upgrades.
Oh,
so it's
all
retrofittable.
Ah, okay, fine.
Because it's mainly software.
Okay.
Mainly software. So it's more powerful. Yeah, 680 to 700 PS now. Recalibrated everything. Faster, more aggressive gear shifts, slightly different and louder exhaust theoretically, stiffer engine mounts, recalibration of the cabling to the suspension so that the dampers react better. Like theoretically, the headline was to make it a more enjoyable driving experience.
But it made you sick.
Well, so this has never happened to me. And also it ruined my day. So off I went and I went up onto the Goldeneye Road. What's that road called? Gorge de whatever.
Don't know.
Anyway, famous road.
Top
a lot of
of
people
France.
use. No, not top of France.
Low.
Yeah, by Monaco.
Top of Monaco.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, north of Nice. Road a lot of people use for filming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And mate, I gave it large. I sent it.
Did you?
I sent it, and I started to feel really nauseous. Now, I think this was because I had a camera in my mouth at one stage. That's the point of view.
I love that. It's so funny when you watch him with a camera in his mouth.
I also put a camera on the far side of the car,
Right.
shooting kind of over my shoulder. But that was the camera I was talking to. So I was trying to go flat on a super twisty, those south of France, real twisty roads, whilst also every now and again turning to look at the camera on my far right.
Right.
So I think I just made myself nauseous because I was just, really fast in a quick car, looking to the right, looking ahead, looking to the right, looking to the head, camera in my face, camera in my mouth. Like, I just think I was too much movement.
Yeah, too much going on.
But it then ruined it because then I was like, oh my God, I feel like trash. And then I was like, why is this happening? And at the time, I didn't clock what I was doing. I started thinking, is it the car? And I started to overanalyze things. The car is outrageously flat
Right.
on a public road.
Yeah.
So even part of the engine mounts and things like that to remove sloshing of the engine. They believed that the engine was sloshing around a bit.
Did they?
So they wanted to really firm up. So that also you felt the vibrations in the cabin, but just make everything rigid. So it's got that feeling of some of those McLarens, which is like, it's almost like you're sort of just hovering above the air. There's great feedback through the wheel. Like there's a lot of grip and stuff. But that sense where you just feel like you're just almost hovering.
Yeah.
Which was good initially. But anyway, so my video went to shit, basically. I'm just going to come out and say I hate my video. Like, I despise it. No, it's going to go out on Sunday.
Right.
Every time I try and edit, I'm like, this is the worst thing ever. Because it threw me, because I literally, I just felt awful. And then I was like, and then I was trying to analyze it without actually just accepting that maybe I just felt sick. Like, so, long story short, driving the car at 70%, unbelievable. Great car.
Not
great
sick anymore.
car. 100%, yeah, I don't know. I think it's too much. I think it's too much and too little. Like it's so quick and so capable, hasn't got a lot of sound. The hybrid tech is interesting because there's still a bit of lag. They've left in a bit of lag.
Have they?
Yeah, so it's not like instant EV acceleration. So I quite like that, but I don't know.
There's a bit of a McLaren trait as well, the lag.
Exactly. So I'm kind of there for it. The pedal's still got that thing where you have to really, really get into the pedal for the brakes.
Yeah.
They're there. The feel is good. They work. But you just got to get into that pedal.
Yeah.
So I really don't know how I feel about it because I loved the coupe. I really enjoy it. I think it's a brilliant car. I like what McLaren are doing at the moment. We love that LT. I'm driving the 750S in a few weeks. I'm excited. But that day, mate, it was just a disaster of a day. And so now I feel a bit...
Was it really hot?
Really hot.
You had the sun?
I had the sun beaming on my bald head. I think I just cooked myself.
Yeah, you might have got a bit of sunstroke.
Heat stroke, yeah. But what a waste. And so I just... You'll see it. The video's going to go live. If you listen to this podcast and you watch the main channel, you'll now get a sense to what's going on. But I was kicking myself. I was like, I'm furious. But what I wanted to get into, Rory Reid was also there.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually saw him a few days later because I also went on the Audi S3 drive, which we're going to talk about next. And I said to him when I saw him at Audi, because I didn't see him at the end of the day with Artura because I was being sick in a hedge. I said, how'd you get on with the Artura? He goes, oh yeah, I loved it. I went, oh, okay. I'm hoping he was going to say, oh, I felt really car sick. He said, but I did have a problem. I went, oh, what problem was that? He said, oh, I broke down.
Oh.
I went, oh no. So he's put it in his video. His video went live. He was coming down the hill and apparently throttle, power, all cut out.
Just cut off?
Yeah, cut off.
Engine off?
I don't think engine off, no. So he had to do a classic McLaren on and off, reset, and off he went. Apparently the explanation so far was that the systems noted that he was full throttle approaching the red line and went for an upshift at the red line. For whatever reason, the systems of the car didn't like it and shut everything off to protect itself.
Wow.
Now, as Rory said, surely the minimum functionality of a supercar is to go flat out to the red line and give you an upshift.
And not
Break.
shut it down, yeah.
So McLaren said, look, we're so sorry, I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And he said he's going to update us all. I had zero problems on my car.
Yeah.
And the last 4 McLarens I've driven, zero problems.
Zero problems.
So I want to move, like I want to have belief and hope and faith that this is behind us and this was just a glitch, it's a press drive, whatever. But we do have to be honest with our audience that the Artura has had its issues. Gremlins. It's taken a while to get to market. There were delays, COVID delays, to be fair to McLaren.
Yeah.
There's not that many cars on the road still.
No.
People have had cars pulled back and taken back. So that made me a little bit like,
yeah.
Because, you know, as I say, I think the car is fundamentally great, but I just feel a bit at odds with it, mate. I really can't tell you what I'm upset because I'm at odds with it.
Okay. You couldn't work it out.
I couldn't work it out. I can't tell you whether I like the car or not.
Which is weird because, like you said, you was in love with the coupe, and you'd think like a drop top would make the sensation even better.
A drop top in the south of France.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to
on proper roads
hark back to my 540C being like, this is, all I will say.
Why don't you give it another go?
Yeah, I'm going to ask for that.
Yeah.
Because McLaren are just very nice. And also I got 750S, which I'm very excited about. Based on just now, 296 GTS is my choice. Out of the 4, 296 GTB, 296 GTS, Artura Coupe, Artura Spider, I'm going 296 GTS for now.
Okay.
That's my choice.
I know that they're both hybrid cars, but I don't think it's fair to compare that Artura with the 296. I think you compare the 750 with the 296.
You do, but pricing wise, they've made that Artura theoretically a rival.
What, 300 grand?
No, because list. What's the list on a 296 GTS? 240, 245?
No, more than that, isn't it? Now.
296 GTS.
I think that's a coupe, 245, 240, 245.
241. 296 GTS, 241.
Is it?
Yeah.
So what's a coupe? Be similar.
Sorry, 257 GTS.
Right.
241 coupe and the Artura Spider.
210, 220.
No.
More?
221.
Yeah. So
30 grand.
Nearly
fair.
40 grand.
Fair.
Yeah. And then we know Ferrari options as well. Like
we'll
that'll be 350. So there's still a bit of a price.
it's hard because there's a disparity. You know, I think they've all done it purposefully now, these manufacturers, right? They've all kind stagger it, move it. Like it doesn't all quite add up. But I'm going to have to do it because it's It's V6 hybrids. For me, I have to compare them.
Okay.
And so that's what that's where my head would be. But 750S I'm excited about, and let's face it, 765 LT is the one I'd have in a heartbeat.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, can't believe how good that car is.
So good. So let's move on then. Audi S3. That was the next press drive I had lined up.
Yeah.
What a good little car.
Good little car?
Mate, very good little car.
Expensive little car now.
Yeah. As
they all are.
Bloody hell, I couldn't believe how expensive it was. 50 odd grand.
Yeah. But what was I going to say? they come a lot more loaded though, don't they?
Yes. Yeah, you get loads of kit.
Yeah.
And I have to say, the new sound system is amazing. Sonos now.
Oh, is it Sonos?
Sonos. Really good.
Wonder how they've gone away from B&O.
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about, but very, very good. And just one of those cars that you just go, yes.
But just a mild facelift or a proper change?
They have finessed a lot in terms of, again, driver enjoyment. So apparently, I missed this, but the old S3 got a lot of slack for being pretty boring, just pretty dull.
Yeah.
And so they've spent a lot of work to make it more engaging to drive in its most dynamic setting. So dynamic plus or dynamic individual, whatever.
Right.
It's Larry, mate. It's actually a ton of fun.
Oh, is it?
It's a ton of fun, especially in the twisties, because they were celebrating 25 years of Quattro, or 50 years of Quattro. 50 years of Quattro?
Yeah, not 25.
I was going to say 25 years of something else. I've been celebrating a lot of anniversaries recently. I'm losing track. Anyway, so they took us to all the colder terrain and things like that.
Yeah.
But I went and did my own thing. But it was, just a great... So I used to own a Gen 1 S1 back in the day. So
S3.
S3.
What's happened to you, mate?
That's that party I went to last night. It's just taking the best out of me, mate.
Daddy all out.
It just, so I had that Gen 1 S3, which I loved, but it blew my mind at how different the cars are now.
Yeah.
And this was the epitome of a car that does everything.
Yeah.
So I was in the hatchback, comfy as hell around town, easy cruise on the motorway, loads of space to fit stuff in, seats super comfortable. I didn't do anything wrong.
No.
And engaging and fun to drive on the two stuff. And somebody messaged me saying, I'm looking for a new sort of, everyday car. Does the 6 And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And I guess the question always is, what about the RS3? But I guess the S3 just sits in that nice point where it's a little bit more nondescript. It's got a comfier ride.
Not as aggressive.
Not as aggressive.
No.
I think it has its place, right?
And it literally goes back to what we were saying last week in our Rate My Ride episode about the car that we drove, that GR86 becomes half extinct because of that S3.
Yeah.
Because literally, that hot hatch literally does everything. Does everything you could ever want in a car.
Did not have the personality or the character of the GR86,
No.
but it didn't matter. It was just a fantastic car. And still from the back, I love the way that hatchback looks from the back.
Yeah.
It's taking lots of shots. From the front, they've sort of softened it off a bit. And I think they've removed the S3 badge from the front grille. Weirdly.
Have they?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Updated the inside a bit? Or?
Yeah, I guess. I don't remember the last time I got in the old one. So just really nice.
Yeah,
just really, really nice. I think you'll enjoy that thing. But from two interesting experiences, I have to talk about my rental car.
Oh, you had a rental car?
So yeah, because Vicky and my daughter flew down to meet me for the second half of the trip.
Yeah.
Because I thought if we're going to be down there, they might as well come and hang out and be super nice. And I'll share a story for the dads. So, or for the parents, sometimes there are some female listeners. A year ago, when our daughter was 4 months or so, we had booked 3 weeks in the south of France because when Vicky was on maternity, we were like, let's take advantage of it. It'll be back, drive the world. Just come with me on everything. Like, we'll just do loads of trips. And we booked this 3 and we were like, perfect. And 4 months, she'll be fine by then. We'll be all right. And a total disaster because in the weeks leading up to it, it was at our lowest of lows of being new parents.
Yeah.
And we ended up canning everything and sleep training our daughter in the south of France. We never left the Airbnb.
Wow.
And it's famously like one of our lowest points. You know? I remember we tried to go out for dinner. It was always a disaster. Like everything was a disaster.
Yeah,
the whole trip was a disaster.
Yeah.
And we went back a year later and it was just perfect, mate.
Yeah.
She was immaculate. We went to a beach club. She fell asleep for 2 hours on a sun lounger.
Yeah.
We had Aperol spritz.
Yeah.
What's called reckless parenting. Mate, just a vibe.
Yeah.
But because they were there and I had the chance to darling, I had to rent something. So went to Enterprise, picked a Qashqai, because you know I love a Qashqai.
Yep.
But I ticked the box Qashqai or similar. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
They gave me a Ford Kuga.
Okay. It's all right.
The worst car I've ever driven.
Wow.
Absolute pile of poo.
Wow.
Mate, genuinely, shocker.
What? Wait.
Shocker, mate. When was the last time you drove a Kuga?
About 2 weeks ago when I sold one.
Oh, but what generation?
Was a 2022 car.
Well, then you'll know.
With it was a Larry one though.
You drove it down the road?
ST line thing, with all the bits on it.
I don't know what mine was.
1.5 though. Was it a 1 litre you had?
It wasn't the engine that was the struggle. It was the steering, mate. Did you drive it down the road, genuinely?
Yeah, but not like I just drove it from
Same. I
didn't drive it any, enthusiastically. It's
Nor
just a
was
car.
I.
Oh,
Nor was
okay.
I. It was just a car, and I could not have felt less connected or understanding of where on earth my front wheels or the car was. Everyone, Vicky drove it, despised it. Vicky's sister flew in for a few days, despised it. You would go on the autoroute, wind would affect it like nothing I've ever experienced before. There was a gust of wind, or you went past a truck, car would just wave all over the place. I could never. It was a hybrid. Coming at the regen braking was awful feeling.
Proper hybrid or just a mild?
Mild hybrid. No, it was plug-in. It was a plug-in.
Plug-in one.
But yeah, when I was coming off the auto route, every time I was trying for a junction, I'd be like, slow down. Like I was fully on the brakes and like, slow down. And then suddenly it would start to slow down again. It was just awful, mate. Oh. Yes, it had lots of kit. Theoretically, the boot space was all right. Like it was like from that point of view, fine. But
you'd rather be in a cash car,
mate. To drive, despised it.
Wow.
I looked for any excuse not to get in it. I was like, let's get the train.
Yeah, you go in the car, I'll take the Ferrari.
Yeah. So here I am, just to slag off the Ford Kuga. What a pile of poo! If you go to Enterprise and they say, "I'm sorry, we haven't got a cash car, we've got a Kuga," say no.
So I'll just have a bus pass, please.
Upgrade me, you. Yeah. Anyway, I think that sums up my experiences on the trip. Probably. Monaco was popping off. I saw an Enzo get impounded.
Did you?
Yeah, because it was Top Marks.
Oh, was it that weekend?
Old school Top Marks.
Bloody hell. Do you remember we should just go down there just for that weekend? Mate. It was chaos. It's not like that anymore, no?
Well, so it is and it isn't. So, yeah, back in the day, long-term OG YouTube viewers will remember Top Marks was a thing. Every year, the UK automotive YouTubers would descend on Monaco for Top Marks.
And everyone in the bloody UK would as well.
But no one actually attended the Top Mark show, which was essentially a Geneva Motor Show of Monaco. It was within the Grimaldi Forum.
Yeah.
Just a sort of traditional car show. But what would happen is everyone would descend on Monaco. It would be popping off. There was cars everywhere, collaboration opportunities left, right and centre. Like, it was just a wild time to be in Monaco. That's why everyone went. And they banned it. They banned it because it got so out of control, a bit like Sloane Street.
Yeah.
What ended up happening is everyone went down in their Fiesta STs and their Civics and did burnouts through Monaco. Which Monaco, unlike here, where they're like, nothing we can do, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Monaco, they were like, nope.
No chance.
Well, this is not happening.
Yeah.
Let's just impound everyone. Yeah. And there was one year that famously, I think they impounded like 180 cars.
Yeah.
It was literally, just took the car. No question. Nope, taking the car.
Yeah.
So it went away, and I think they tried to permanently ban it, but I think COVID helped everyone kind of relax. And I think this is the second year it's happened since COVID, maybe. So it was a lot more chill. I barely saw any other people, but it was still popping off, and the police were insane because I think they're still so against it.
Yeah.
Literally on every corner there was police.
Yeah.
So, and obviously they were stopping anyone who made any kind of noise, but everyone cottoned on pretty quickly what was going on. So then they resorted to paper checking. They would just check everything.
Yeah,
and if you were missing one piece of paper, car impounded.
Wow.
So it was a Monaco registered Enzo at like 10 p.m. at night going out for dinner. And they stopped him and he clearly didn't have something, impounded the car. Insane. €5 million car, that? Just sitting in an impound lot by a bloody heliport. Ridiculous, mate. I saw, I didn't drive my car that weekend. I thought that was going to be challenge to darling. There's no way to make it quiet. So I was like,
literally no way.
But yeah, so it was fairly wild. But talk to me, because you went back to the ring, King of the Ring.
Twice.
Mr. Germany.
Been twice.
Hello.
Yeah.
Mr. Schnitzel.
Hello. Yeah, I had a schnitzel and a currywurst.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, schnitzel. And I had a strudel.
That genuinely, I can't wait for September just for those three things. Like, I don't really care about the rest of it. Sorry, everyone. I genuinely just only want to have those three things and then go home.
So nice. And then go home.
And then go home and cry.
Mate, there were some big crashes, mate.
No.
I mean, I cannot tell you how bloody... I mean, most people know how dangerous that place is, but it's getting worse. Like...
Were you there for Misha's crash in that M4 thing?
Was I there? I got there... no, I got there the night after. So I think...
That looks scary.
Yeah, so I think Misha crashed on the Thursday or the Friday, and I got the day after.
they were lucky in that one, weren't they? Freaking hell.
Yeah. Really. Oh no, I was there.
You were there?
No, I was there. I think it was on the Saturday.
Okay.
So I was there. Yeah, it was shut for like 2 hours.
Oh.
I didn't know. Obviously, I didn't know it was Misha then. But yeah, luckily they're all right. But mate, there was some big ones as well. Like last weekend, people just they just bloody pile in on cold tyres and.
This was tourist laps, or this was track day tourist laps?
All tourist laps, and it's so funny that place because in the wet, like the track literally empties.
As you said,
no one goes on. I love
yeah.
it. It's pucker in the wet, but no one goes on it in the wet, and which is good if you're still trying to learn it because there's no one there. But then when it starts to dry again, they all go piling back on. But then there's obviously still wet lines, and it's really slippery on the wet. If you're going fast, and they literally just go in the wall, mate. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times it shut last weekend, and big crashes as well.
I just don't. I know you love it now. I just don't see the appeal. I just don't, mate.
But you don't really like track stuff. It's like
I appreciate it more now. I've got my car, the GT3. I just don't like the other people, mate. Give me an empty track, I'd fight around it all day. I just don't like the other people.
Yeah, but it is a problem. It is dangerous because there's some people as well that, some people have an ego. Like if I'm going around in my car and they're in a slower car, they have an ego to like, oh, let's get past the Porsche. But if you're faster than me, come past. I don't care, mate. Like I'll just pull over and let you come past. Like I don't really care. Do you know what I mean? So, but there's a lot of that goes on around there,
and that unpredictability, and there's a variation of levels. People, that's
huge
what I don't
level
like.
Difference. Yeah. No, I love it, mate. It's like a new job, and as well because I'm starting to get to know it, get a bit faster, and like even if you feel you know it, you can never master it because it's too big, and Anyway, I love it. The car's unbelievable. Obviously,
let's talk about that because you had the Manthey set up, mate.
I've had the Manthey set up done, which has changed the car.
So where you picked the car up from Manthey?
Picked the car up from Manthey, yeah.
How far is it then to the start of the tourist lap? So how much road driving did you do?
4 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wondered whether you immediately noticed a change.
In them going to the because I picked it up. And I drove it to my hotel as well. So I did do a little bit of road driving. So the roads in Germany are very smooth.
Unbelievable.
So I could tell a slight difference, but not like night and day. But then I drove it a little bit last weekend, a bit more on the road when I was there last weekend. My hotel was like 20 minutes out from the Nurburgring, and it really tramlines terribly now.
Oh, really?
Oh, mate, it's like... Yeah, it's awful.
Hold on for dear life.
It's not like the steering wheel's constantly moving around now. So, but for the track, because obviously they set it up for the Nurburgring. So there's obviously different settings.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Aero settings and it's like mega. I know we banged on about the front end on that car. It's even better now with the setup. I told you, it's like incredible.
And you said they adjusted the wing?
They adjusted the wing, so they made it more aggressive for under braking and high speed, basically.
Okay, so two things. Feel free to not answer one of them. Cost and time.
Time, if they can fit it in, like if they've got room, they do it in like half a day.
Okay.
But I'd left my car and then I went back 2 weeks later and it was done. Cost £750.
£750. Okay.
It's like the cheapest thing you can do to your car, because you can't, apart from having a Manthey kit as in suspension, there's really not a great deal you can do to our cars because they're already done. But obviously from factory, they set them up for the road, as in, to make it for everyone, because everyone has different driving capabilities. But if you want it more aggressively, and then they have different setups for obviously different tracks, because the Nürburgring's very bumpy and very aggressive. They have like their own setup for the Nürburgring, which is what my car's set up for.
Okay.
So it's like rides the curbs, unbelievable. It's incredibly stable, like stupidly stable.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much can change with just a few variables.
Like literally, mate. Yeah. They've adjusted some wing, adjusted a bit of aero underneath, changed the geometry.
Have you ever done it on any other previous Porsches you've had?
No, I didn't.
Not even Manthey, like if you had anyone set up a car.
All my friends' cars are all set up.
But not yours?
But not mine, no.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, I've always drove them. But my mates are always, even with my previous cars, get it set up and I go, no, I'm not that bothered, leave it as it is. But obviously, my previous cars, I did drive on the road. But I don't...
This thing's live at the ring.
Literally.
And then if you want to do a road trip, you book it back in, half a day or a day. And
but it's fine it's only in this country, mate. Like if we went to Spain or Portugal and I go, bring my, or France.
You'd leave it in the setup it's in now?
Leave it in the setup.
Really?
It'd be fine, yeah. It's just way more aggressive on turning because obviously the wheels are pointed in.
Yeah.
So you can visibly see, it looks cool, looks mega. You can
toe in, or is that toe out? That's toe in,
toe in, yeah. So you can visibly see the wheels pointed in now.
Yeah, wow,
so it looks
crazy.
mega, especially from the back.
I can imagine.
You can see like daylight under the back of the wheels where they're pointed in.
That's mad.
Yeah, it is mega, to be fair.
Because how much is the full conversion to do? Because Alexander's Prestige had a Manthey GT3.
I think it's €60,000
for the full Manthey
at
kit.
Manthey, yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, because obviously they're obviously more expensive. I think there's a couple of UK certified places now that actually do Manthey.
As I said, the car that Alexander's got for sale at the moment
is a proper Manthey car.
But it's a full Manthey car with the aero bits on the rear wheels and stuff.
Yeah.
The canards at the front. And
so basically it has different suspension. It'll have my setup that it's got now and it'll have the canards and it has a few other tweaks.
I think you can do it now at Porsche retail centres, isn't it?
Can.
That was the whole deal.
Yeah. Because it's a proper retail approved place. But, but it literally changes the car.
Wow.
It's like so. And as soon as I went out 2 corners,
You're like, wow.
Yeah.
Do they do an M25 setup?
I don't know what that is.
For the M25? No. Do they do like a really bumpy road setup? You know, like, dial it back rather than dial it in. Yeah. Dial it back.
Yeah, let's wheel it back the other way.
Yeah. Carrera T setup.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Well, I look forward to getting a chance to see. So, it starts to beg our question of what cars are we going to take on our road trip?
Well, I'm taking the M3.
Are you?
Oh,
yeah, that'd be
so
perfect.
I've done the last 2 weekends. I took the M3 to Nurburgring. I've got to stop taking it because I've done 1,000 miles in the last
That car's a keeper
2
forever,
weeks.
my God.
Yeah, well, it is, babe. I love it.
Yeah.
And, that's another thing. So I took that round.
Did you?
I slowly,
Okay.
like just...
just to have a bit of a...
Just to go round, to see. And as good as that car is... I got back in my Porsche, and it's literally the difference between being in a road car and a racing car.
Yeah, for sure.
It's honest,
of course.
Yeah, but like the M3 is a proper car, mate, isn't it? Like
proper road car,
but it's a road car. Yeah,
proper road car.
Yeah. So you could instantly feel the weight. Yeah. The steering wasn't anywhere near as direct. The only thing with that M3, it's bloody too fast, mate.
Really?
Mate, it's way too... I think in a straight line it's as fast as our Porsches. But
I'm sure,
But it doesn't bloody stop and turn like our cars.
No, so you have to really think ahead.
So you've got to think ahead. You're going way too fast and you think, you calibrate that you've been in the Porsche and you're going really fast. You think, I'm not going to make this corner.
No, I'm dead. I'm gone. I'm one of those idiots in the barrier.
Yeah, literally.
Wow.
Yeah. So...
Cool car, though.
Yeah, mega. And last...
I'll be perfect car for that trip. What will I take? Maybe I'll take the CS.
Will you?
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, well, I better take the M3 because you'll need a lift.
Yeah, I would say, I don't think I will take the CS.
CS.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't know what I was thinking. I just had such a good week.
What I was thinking.
The drive back the weekend, I did clock. It's not what that car's made for. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Modena was always so good on those long distance trips. And whilst the Stradale is fine at cruising and very happy, it does feel out of place. Like, it is
you
a
can't
bit
shut
more
it up,
extreme.
can you?
It's not that bad compared to our GT3s. It's really not that bad.
Wow.
Like, it's because, in 6th gear and at low throttle pressure, the valves aren't open or anything like that. It's just a noisy cabin, and it just feels a bit silly to be like just doing. I did 11 hours. 1,000 kilometers on the way back, and
it feels a bit of a waste, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I think I sort of started thinking, probably change up how I do this. But then the GT3s, maybe I'll have to borrow a car for that trip. That would be fun. Oh, you know what would be good for that trip? No, because you want something that's dynamic enough for the
twisty stuff.
for the twisty bits, and then you want something that's comfortable enough, but then fast enough for the autobahn. Like M3 Touring is a really good shout.
That's what is it? That's the car. It's got all the tech. I was having a lovely time.
M2s.
Yeah.
What else? Sport Classic.
Sport Classic.
Yeah.
Are you well? No, mate.
Got plenty of time to figure that out.
Classic.
Speaking of crazy cars and cars that you would have laughed at, I went to Supercar Driver Secret Meet.
Oh, yeah, I want to ask you about that.
Mate. You know what?
Was that outrageous?
It actually was.
Yeah, all right.
I went slightly thinking I know what I'm stepping into here because I've been to plenty of their events before.
Yeah.
I have and had been to loads of car meets in the UK. I would say the one thing is, given the amount of stuff that we do, you do get used to seeing the same cars. Desensitized. But this was an unbelievable event.
Okay,
mate.
fair.
For twofold. So firstly, it was at Silverstone.
Mm-hmm.
For international listeners, Supercar Driver, well, sort of does what it says on the tin. It is a members club for supercar drivers.
Yeah.
As time has gone on, I think maybe they would admit that it's become hypercar drivers. Like the levels, like if you have a Huracan, you're barely in the club. But that's good on them. Like bravo to their unbelievable success. Silverstone firstly, sunny day secondly. They had in the old pit lane. Behind the pit boxes, there were pretty much every supercar dealer in the UK. So I was there with Alexander's Prestige, but Joe Macari's, Tom Hartley, European Prestige, they were all there.
Yeah.
And that part was the part that you could quite easily be very nonchalant about. Okay. And most people there were, because it's a members club, most people go to the same things.
Yeah.
And literally there was like a Chiron next to a Veyron, next to another Veyron, then a Chiron Supersport, and you just didn't look up.
Yeah.
Because it's all static and it's all there.
Yeah.
But then in the pits, they had unbelievable racing cars, historic F1 cars, historic Le Mans cars, endurance cars, like just fucking amazing stuff, which was going out and doing laps.
Yeah, which is cool.
And then they had arguably the cream of the crop for hypercars doing the hypercar parade. So my mate John from Podium was there in his new Valkyrie Spider.
Yep.
Unbelievable spec. We'll come on to the Valkyries in a second. There was, God knows how many Bugattis. I'm trying to think what else was there. All of the...
Koenigsegg.
Koenigsegg. Another Koenigsegg caught fire.
Not there?
Classic, yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah. Orange Koenigsegg. All the LaFerraris, all the P1s, all the 918s. I'm talking 17 of each.
Yeah.
177s.
Yeah.
F12 TDF. I've decided that is a gem of car. Two cars that I really... F12 TDF and 599 GTO.
Okay.
Mate, those things just spectacular.
But I bet there weren't 17 of them each there.
No.
That's probably why you thought they're spectacular.
Probably. Just really super impressive, super cool. And the best part about it is everything was accessible. Just walk around. Everything was accessible. Everyone felt like everyone was there. Great to chat, catch up with loads of people.
Yeah.
Good commentary, good coverage. I would have said one thing they could have done, which was got as a screen, because when the cars were out on track, you didn't really see them until they came
back round the pits. Yeah. I bet you heard them though.
Freaking hell, yeah. Bravo, Supercar Driver team.
Yeah.
And I genuinely enjoyed myself. And I'm a bit of a miserable git when I go to those static car shows. Yeah. This wasn't static; it's half of it was static. I'm a bit of a miserable git because, as I say, I'm around it all the time, so I struggle to really. Apart from it, there was a Project 8 that I freaked out about. What else was there? A couple of Gordon Murray T50s. Had some interesting chats with people about that.
Yeah.
What did we say I was going to come back to? The Valkyries.
Yeah.
So Adrian Newey was there in his Valkyrie.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely. Slightly different, his car. But there must have been about 7, maybe 8 Valkyries on there. I would say 4 or 5 broke down.
And what about the Mercs? And in the Mercs there?
No Project 1s. No Project 1s. I don't think they work.
Oh.
Not one Project 1.
Not one?
Not one.
Oh, they must have been recalled then.
Yeah.
Because my mate Steve's got one and he's a Supercar Driver member. Yeah. So he would have been there.
And most of their events over the last year, people have gone, they've been Project 1s turning up to their events and stuff. So there must have been a recall
Yeah,
or
I bet they've
or
recalled them.
non-drive
Yeah,
or something
because
like that.
I know that there's supercar driver members that have got them.
100%.
So-
And there was everything else, mate. There was
Yeah.
Zondas and Huayras and
Yeah. There must be
every
something-
Bugattis.
There must
and-
be something wrong with them.
Yeah, so that was weird. But yeah, Valkyries were just peeling off left, right, and centre with issues. John's car had a couple of issues. Yeah, I mean, they look amazing. And the thing which is so weird is that until they're up and going, they sound like dog crap. It's just gearbox whine. So,
Yeah.
and then
I
they
think
really
that
get
sounds
going.
quite good, though.
You quite like that?
I quite like that.
They
noise,
just
yeah.
look amazing.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
They look otherworldly when they roll down. But I had a brief chat. I would love to say I had a brief chat with Adrian Newey about it, but I didn't. I spoke to his son Harrison, who's an absolute legend. Just one of the top bloke who's involved with the Red Bull hypercar that Adrian's been part of.
Okay.
Track only.
Yeah.
Got some details on that. It's going to be exciting, mate.
Track only.
Yeah, track only. But it's going to be very cool.
Is it?
Yeah, more details to show on that soon.
Oh, it's a shame that it's track only. But actually, do you know what? It's probably better it's track only because they can't get them to bloody work on their road.
Yeah, and I think their point was that that's what he does. Adrian Newey's design race cars
Yeah.
to get a car to work how he wants to work it. Basically, you have to compromise too much to build a road car.
Yeah.
This is what a lot of people say. When they go, "Oh my god, why?" GT3s. They are road cars.
They are absolutely road
cars.
Yeah.
And I think that was the vibe I got was that he just wanted to make a car as he wanted to make it.
Yeah.
And if that meant that it had to be track only, track only.
Yeah.
And look, there's plenty of people with enough money here. I'm sure someone will work out how to make it road legal.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a really, and for me, that was the kickstart of my summer season. We've got Goodwood just around the corner. Plans for that are really starting to take shape. We've got the British Grand Prix, Monterey Car Week, which I will be attending. Exclusive. Hello, Monterey Car Week.
You going?
On my way. Salon Privé, Goodwood Revival. That felt like the start for me. So I was
It's all
buzzed.
kicking off.
And then BTG Tour September
The big one.
to wrap it all up.
Yep.
My God. So there we go. Once again, btgtours.com. Once we have sold out those 30 slots, there'll be a notification on that website saying it's sold out. And if you want to join a waiting list, you can. And let's see how it goes. We're excited. It's going to be a whole different style, whole different vibe. Anything else that we should add or say about it? What do you think?
I think I've covered it. Couple of little special bits we're going to do in the middle.
Yeah.
Might have a special guest and a Q&A that we're
God,
doing.
hold on a sec, Tony. Don't give away too much.
Don't reveal
hell,
too
don't
much.
reveal too much.
The thing is, I get excited.
You
There's
get
a bit.
so excited. Keeping you under tap is going to be impossible.
I can't contain myself.
From now until September, how you're not going to reveal some details, I do not know. But speaking of special guests, actually, we do have some cool interviews lined up in the weeks ahead.
Yeah.
I keep an eye on the Behind the Glass Instagram page, Behind the Glass __ podcast, because we'll probably be announcing those guests and asking for questions. So if you want to get involved and submit questions for those guests, as I say, keep an eye on the Behind the Glass Instagram page. That's Behind the Glass __ podcast. I think that's it for this week.
I think we've done a good job.
We've done a good job. I've survived somehow with my dodgy voice post Peninsula London launch party, which, my God, I'll never go to a party like that again in my life. That was just
I bet you will.
unbelievable, mate. I saw Billy Piper. You remember Billy Piper?
I do remember him.
You had me for a second. Anyway, if you want to follow Tony between now and next week's episode, he is at Tony Gravelwood Car Sales on most social media platforms. I'm at Seen Through Glass. We'll catch up with you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.